Hello, and welcome to Tuesday Talks with Mom. I'm Tara Myers, and I am so glad you're here. As part of Moms on a Mission, we're empowering moms across the country to stand up and advocate for their children's educational freedom. As a mom of an adult son with Down syndrome, I've walked this road, navigating the school system and fighting for the right to choose the best education for my child. And now I'm here to share that journey with you. Every 2 weeks, we'll sit down with different moms from around the country and provide thoughtful advice and share our experiences. Together, we're building a community of moms who are finding their voices, taking action, and making a difference. Welcome to Tuesday Talks with Mom. Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to our final episode of 2025 of Tuesday Talks with Mom. I just can't even believe it. Can you, girls?
I
I
can't.
can't.
This has been a year of immense change and opportunity across our nation when it comes to children and school choice, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
Absolutely.
we're on one accord today.
I know, I love it. I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, parents all across this nation are celebrating because more states than ever before have given parents the rightful opportunity to choose where their children go to school. And as we wrap up the year, we're just going to talk to you tonight about different things that maybe you want to do with your children, or for that application period that's coming up. So, moms, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good to be here.
So happy to be back with you ladies and on the last episode of the year. I mean, how special is that?
I know, it's unbelievable. I remember when we launched this at the beginning of the year, and we have talked to so many moms
Mhm.
and about so many different great subjects. And I am so excited for what 2026 is going to be bringing to the forefront for us. There's going to be lots of new things happening and lots of parents who are going to be first time recipients of school choice opportunities for their children. And I don't know about you two, but I do remember. I remember that bill getting passed in June during a budget cycle back in 2011, and then finding out when the rules came out, waiting for the rules to come out. When they finally came out, we had a 1 year moratorium wait. And I remember thinking, oh, 1 year. But, as a mom, we needed that year. And I was actually going to be starting a program because I didn't have anywhere to send my son. And so I took that year and I helped plan. There were some lovely individuals at the school where we were going to start that program who came alongside me and helped me understand their culture and understand their roles and policies and procedures, and also be able to create the best learning environment for my son and other children like him. And so I know there's parents out there that are anxious, that are worried, that are nervous. What if I don't get a spot? What if there's a cap? What papers do I need?
Yeah.
Well, how do I need to get ready for this? So, ladies, dive right in.
I would say definitely make sure that if your state requires proof of a disability or an individualized education plan, make sure that you have that. I personally like to have a digital copy and a paper copy because I love paper, but also it's very convenient to have a digital copy so you can send it or upload it or whatever you need. I would also say, like in my state of Missouri, if you're doing it based on your income, you have to have your income tax return. And again, paper, digital, I think it's smart to have both copies. I am a firm believer in, having the paper copies of what's required so that I can go through and highlight and mark dates and that type of thing. Um, Something else I thought of earlier, and I'd like to add, there are schools that start their enrollment process in January, or maybe picking classes, like if your kid is in junior high or high school, picking classes in January and February. And that sounds so soon, but they're preparing their schools for incoming students. And you may need to be put on a wait list. And those are things that you need to think about ahead of time so that you're not waiting in April or May and going, oh my goodness, there aren't any spots, and I'm number 75 on the list. And so think ahead to not only what you need to prepare for your students' scholarship account, but also if you are planning on pivoting to a parochial school or a private school and they may be full, you want to get yourself on a waiting list as soon as you can.
I agree with you, Becky, on that. Wait lists are not something to be afraid of. It's holding your place in line. I don't know how many of you have ever seen that photo online where there's a set of shoes in a row in a line. And I always think about that. That's how I envision the wait list. I'm holding my spot because my child is going to be next.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, love, love the idea of having that paper copy. I always have a binder, 3 ring
Yep.
binder, clear plastic sleeves. And if you don't have access to have that document on a digital, go to the library. They'll scan it in for you. They'll help you. That's what we're all paying our taxes for, right, ladies? I mean, let's
Absolutely.
go
Yes.
and use our resources and
Yes.
have those nice ladies and gentlemen at the library help you make sure that you have a digital copy. Invest in a jump drive and have them save it for you so that no matter when those documents are needed, you're ready. And what a great time when school's out of session over the holiday break to be able to sit down and talk to your child. Talk to them about the excitement of this application process. Many states' application windows are opening at the end of December, January, February, March, April, and you don't want to be left behind. You want to make sure that you're either first on the list or you're in the wait line for
Mm-hmm.
that. So, is there anything you want to add to that, Clarice?
Yes, I was just going to say, for parents, this might be something that you're just getting into. This might be new. I want to assure you and encourage you to ask the questions. No question. The things that we tell our kids when they go to school, no question is a dumb question. If you don't understand it, ask.
Yep.
and and if you still don't understand it when someone relays the information to you, ask again. Why? Because you are the driver of your child's education, and it's so important that you understand the process. And I would add to what Becky said as well and say, get that paper, because I like paper too, and but also that digital copy is your protection. It is the, if it's not written, it's not said, receipt. So it's the receipt that you have that shows that you reached out, that you asked the questions, and that you're expecting either a response, or you want to make sure that important information that you're giving is a part of your child's educational journey. So make sure that you do the digital piece as well for your safety.
I love it. Well, and also, folks, you can go to getschoolchoice.org and you can log in and look and see what's new in the world of school choice. And that's just really important because there's a lot of information about some of the new programs that are out there for the states. You can get some one pagers, some data information that would be really important if that is your particular state that you want to go to. So I would highly recommend that you visit that site. And you can also go to edchoice.org and get download some information there about your state. So those parents that have been standing in line for a while, waiting for their opportunity of resources, can now have access and just download what you need. I love it. I love it, ladies.
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
there any? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it just came to me, and it's just something I was thinking about when you're talking about the wait list. And I would want to encourage families with this exciting time. Some people will end up on the wait list. And what I don't want you to do is to get frustrated in that process because educational options abound. I know for some families, homeschooling is not an option because you have to work. But if you're on a wait list, don't lose heart. Don't grow faint. There's so many options that this opens up for families. A hybrid model could be an option while you're waiting on that particular school, that concrete school that you want to send your child to. So explore the options that you have. It's not a one size fits all anymore. And that's one of the things I'm so
Right.
excited about when it comes to educational freedom. It is opening up gateways to various opportunities for the best fit for your children. So tap into that.
That's a good point, Clarice, because I know I tend to get focused on one specific track or one specific thing, and there are other options. And so, if parents are on a wait list and maybe that's a good time to pause and see, okay, if this doesn't work out, what are some of our other options? Because it's really disheartening to think of, oh, we're stuck in this specific situation. You don't have to be stuck. You can
No.
explore other opportunities, because maybe uh, something that you find down the road is a better fit.
Well, and something was really interesting. I was told when our scholarship started that there was only 5% of the identified students with disabilities that would be eligible. And that was clear back in 2012.
Mm.
And we have still yet to meet that 5% of students on IEPs. So I think we can probably safe to say most parents are going to get their wish of resources. And if they do, like Clarice mentioned, and they investigate, research, and ask questions about the different schools, programs, hybrids, homeschooling, whatever option is out there, I think we're going to find very few people that are waiting in a line. And I think that we're going to find where people are able to fit in to what model and what program and what resource matches them. So we have celebration as not only going into the holidays, but celebration of all the new opportunities that are available. And hopefully, we've given you some tips and tricks on how to set yourself up and be ready for when the day and the door of opportunity opens for you in your state. So, ladies, I have a question for you. As parents and students step home for the holidays, they're going to have a couple weeks off from school.
Mhm.
What are some things that you would recommend either as housekeeping duties for the current educational situation that you're in, or fun activities that maybe you have found to be beneficial, or different things that they could do while they're on break besides just sitting around watching you know Christmas shows, or carolers outside, or playing in the snow? What are some things that could be helpful in the educational arena for all students? So just some ideas that you want to share during this festive time.
I would start off by saying, when you said that, one of the things, and this will be funny, when you start talking about just sitting around doing whatever, do something productive, and it made me think of the Christmas Story, because I watch that every Christmas, and I can't think of his name right now, but the line of "You'll shoot your eyes out." The little red rider BB gun, right? And so, what I would say is, children don't want to be nagged by their parents, but during the holiday season. But for parents, I think it would be a great opportunity to encourage your children, if they are starting small, like how to advocate, self advocate effectively, like teaching them their learning style and listening to them as they share with you what their learning style is, and have those conversations with them. And then from them, give them little tips on, if you're in the classroom and you don't understand a question, or if you are struggling with reading and you don't want everybody around you to know, but you really need help, how to best self advocate. I think that that would be a powerful tool to instill in your children before the next term starts.
And I would say, as a retired teacher, I would have so appreciated parents spending time doing that, because I taught at the junior high level, and I did expect my students to advocate for themselves, because in my opinion, in my head, like that's what you do. Like when
Yeah.
you're at that age, you should be able to. And I would help students find their voices if they didn't have those skills. But it sure helps when parents help at home.
Yeah.
And I would also like to add, Christmas break is a time for us to pause. And at least our family, we pause, we reflect, we enjoy each other's company. We have those conversations like Clarice was talking about. But I also, um, I don't like to be rushed when I am in the kitchen. So it's a good time to cook and bake with the kids,
Mm.
because I don't feel pressure like, oh, we got to get this done. Like, we have time. We have time to prepare, we have time to clean up. Those are necessary skills. And also board games. It's fun, but it also, whether you're doing Monopoly or even a game like Clue, those are some social skills. There are some academic skills like reading and math, and it's fun. And if you can make it feel less pressurized, that's even better, because then the kids don't realize that they're actually exercising those skills, and everybody's having a good time.
I love it. Yeah, that's one thing that a couple things that go with the board games. One things that I was going to say, every year we always chose a family game that we gave as a gift, and we would always play that as a family. Usually, because I was always advocating for my son, it was a game that had a huge educational component to it. Another thing that I would do is take the kids shopping at the thrift stores, and games are expensive,
Yep.
and we would go thrifting for games, and I would gather as many games as I could possibly find and give them to other teachers, because we had a socialization class that I taught, and there were so many things you could learn from playing a game. And I rarely played the games the way they were intended to be played,
You're
because
one of those people.
I was one of those people who was always looking for ways that we could get the biggest benefit out of the game. There was always the turn taking, the conversation skills. I would just make up ways. I know the kids were like, seriously, because I had high schoolers, and I know they were like, Mrs. Myers, I know that this is not what we're supposed to be doing with this, but we had lots and lots of fun. And we integrated a lot of social skills into game time, having a conversation, taking turns, helping one another, showing some sympathy in social experiences. And of course, because I was always looking for games that I could weave those things into it, I even had our typical peer mentors. They had a ball doing this. And then we would also take the skills that we learned while playing games and go out and about in the community. Or another thing that we did was, we always integrated a service project. One year we made dough ornaments. And we made so many dough ornaments that we gave an ornament to every single person in the school, which there was over 400 individuals in the school, including teachers and staff and support staff and students. And then we had so many extra dough ornaments. Mind you, not only did we make them, we painted them. We put the little hole in them, put the little string on it and everything, and we wrote on them. And we then found a supports or not support assisted living across the street from the school, and we went over and blessed every resident in the facility with these ornaments as well.
I love that.
um,
Yes.
I'm not kidding you. We made so many ornaments that year, and I still have them. I still have those ornaments, and that's been over 10 years ago. So the kids learned so many things while preparing for the holidays and also working on skills that were hidden and sometimes obvious, but then also giving to others, showing the true meaning of the season, thinking of others before yourself. So I really think that those are some things that you can do. And I love, Becky, what you said about not being rushed in the kitchen. One time for Thanksgiving, we actually, again, for that holiday, we decided to bake for all the students at the school. And so we met them at the door as they came in the week of Thanksgiving and gave them a treat that we had made for all of them. And the not being rushed is a really great concept, because we worked on that for days and days on end, but the skills that were had from that, and the blessing that was bestowed on those students who were learning the skills, but also those that were receiving as a result of.
Mhm.
So that we can work on some of those things and also have them hidden within the gems of life that we need as individuals, and helping those students become adults,
Yes.
whether they be our students or if we're in teacher mode and they're students that we're working with. I think those are some things that are very helpful.
I agree. I agree.
Anyone else have anything that they want to add to that? Any other ideas? I
I just
know.
I just think the holiday season is a special time. I think it's a time for families to come together. It's when everybody kind of comes down from the day to day and the going and the coming and all of those things. And I think when we're talking about schools, it's about children and it's about the families that love them. And so, just inviting children to talk about their lived experiences that they've had thus far, and to talk about their dreams or expectations, because one of the things that happens a lot of times is children get lost, their voices get lost. And I encourage families to take time over the holidays to ask your kids, how do they feel about the education they're receiving? I think a lot of us learned a lot during COVID, when we had online learning, and parents were like, whoa, I
Right.
really didn't know what was happening, and it
Yep.
kind of
Right.
inspired people to look for other choices. So
Hmm.
just tap back into your children and ask them, how are they receiving, or how are they feeling about the choice they're in? And it may be a time for them to talk to you, and you might find that they might need to do something different and have a different option.
Yeah. That's a great
I
idea,
love it.
Clarice.
You know, we brought back the art of card making and card writing also during the holiday times. In fact, my son Sam is currently right now gathering all the supplies to make his cards for Christmas. And one other thing that we like to do is to find people to that maybe we could send cards to, and it creates the creative brain side, you know, of like
Uh,
just being creative. And we use all types of medium in order to make the cards, but then also practicing the art of a friendly letter and writing
mm,
a friendly note.
mm.
And that's another thing, again, sneaking that little piece in there that, you know, oh, we need to send a greeting card. But then also, for those of you that live in a state that has most recently passed some legislation and you're waiting to be the recipient, to write a thank you card. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you don't have like maybe some shut-ins, or you know, we've gone around and found people to send cards to. But what a great thing to know that, you know, you're doing your civic duty
Yeah.
and you receive a thank you card from a child that is a recipient of a school choice option. I know I've heard from people that said that is such a blessing. I'm doing my job,
Hmm.
and you're receiving it as rightfully yours as a parent. But the child, and who was it? I think it was Clarice that said teaching them how to be advocates.
Yeah.
What a great piece of the advocacy arm is, and being able to advocate for themselves by saying thank you for recognizing my need
Yeah.
Yeah.
and affording me the opportunity to get the very best education that I deserve. And I think it goes a long way. So that's another, you know, small little nugget of help during the holiday time that parents can do. It, and you can even, I've even been known, I'm going to say it, I've been known to recycle old cards. You know, if your budget's tight, I know, go ahead. I've been known to take some of those holiday cards that come in the mail to me and tear the signature piece off and fold the front in half. And I've even had people call me and say, okay, that was very clever. And I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of like a postcard now. But you know, I just look at for all kinds of ways, because you never know what somebody's budget is. You never know what you need to you know, to reuse. If and again, use all kinds of medium to make that card.
Yeah.
Remember the days, guys, when we used to cover our books with brown paper sacks?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that, you know, some people had those real fancy schmancy stuff, and
Yeah.
not in our house. We had to use the grocery bag, and then you got,
Yep.
you know, my mom was
Same.
always so crafty. She'd be like, you know, that's why I have these crayons, because now that's your artscape. So you can decorate your book any way you want. Those other folks, you know, theirs is already decorated for them, but
Mhm.
you get to make yours look any way you want. So, so there's some blessing in there. So do the same thing with your cards for your kids. So I kind of diverted there, ladies, but
No, but
it's all the same.
that brought back memories. That
Yeah.
whole book
Didn't
cover
it?
thing.
Yep.
You know,
You
speaking of
need
that, I
the
just
family room floor right now, you know, where you lay everything out with the ruler. And yes,
Yep.
yes.
the little book cover. I mean,
That's right. I mean, so there's all kinds of things you can be doing for the holidays. You can buy butcher block paper
Hmm.
and wrap presents with that as well. And
Yep.
again, another academic piece of helping individuals wrap the presents and then decorate them themselves, depending if you've got some
yeah,
elementary or if you've got a really artistic high schooler. What a great way for them to show off their talent by decorating their wrapping paper. And also writing gift tags. You know, that's another thing. And make sure that you teach the art of thankfulness with those
oh,
thank you cards.
Love it.
for the gifts, for the opportunity, and for the resources.
And
I love
put the year on it,
Yes,
because I save
me too.
so many things, and it's nice to go back and see the year, the age, and the stage.
Yes. That's been very interesting because one of the most notable growth pieces for Samuel was when his handwriting.
it.
And I found those dated pieces where you guys, it was so unintelligible. It was just horrible. And I showed him a writing sample, and he's like, "Who did that?" I said, "That was your handwriting." And he's just like, and I said, "Now look at your handwriting. Senators and governors have seen your handwriting and said, 'Oh my gosh, that is
Right.
beautiful penmanship.'"
Mhm.
And I said, "What a great testament to all those great teachers out there." Give a little shout out to them. Thank you for pouring into the heart and life of my child.
Yes.
All because of choice. All
Yes.
because of choice. So I appreciate that. Well, ladies, is there anything, last words of wisdom right before this holiday season, that you want to share with our listeners before we go?
I
I just want to I just want to thank the listeners for joining in, tuning in to our Tuesday Talks with Moms. Um, Listening to what we have to say and sharing your stories with us. I mean, this is a time of thankfulness and love and just the gift of life and family. And I just want you to know that your efforts are not in vain, that as a mom on a mission, which you all are, that you are your child's best advocate. Don't ever forget it, and realize that, there are going to be days when it may not seem like your advocacy is moving the needle, but trust yourself and always remember that you are making a difference. Happy
absolutely.
holidays.
Go ahead, Becky. Anything you want to
Oh,
say?
I was just gonna piggyback on what Clarice said. We appreciate everybody who tunes in, and always remember that if you have questions or you feel stuck or you're not sure what the next step forward is, drop us an email, message us, and we will be happy to do what we can to help. And we're all in this together. We all want to move forward, to make a better educational environment for our kids. So don't be afraid to reach out if you're like, I should do something, but I don't know what to do. Reach out to one of us. We'll be happy to help.
I
I
echo
love
that. Can I say this, Tara? Because she sparked something when she said that. If you're a mom in a state and you are doing great work, or you have a story that you think the world should hear, reach out to us for that as well. We'd love to have you potentially on Tuesday Talks with Mom, sitting right next to us, having this conversation.
I love it. Well, I want to highlight these beautiful moms and some most recent recognition that they received. As we shared already for all of you about advocating and teaching your children to advocate, these ladies before me have done a fabulous job of doing that. Most recently, Clarice Jackson has received an award, the Global Literacy Inclusion Champion from Nairobi, Kenya. And look at Clarice out there. So I just thank you so much. For all that you do for children with dyslexia and bridging the gap for children across not only your state, our nation, but the world, Clarice. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you, Tara.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Becky Usello, thank you for your work as a Civic Trailblazer Award recipient this year at the Policy Circle. Becky has just dove right in on making sure that she's a civic leader, she's a civic coach, and she helped in the state of Missouri. And so I just thank you, Becky, for all that you've done, and for now your leadership and training for other individuals who are coming up. So it is my honor to be alongside the two of you in the work that you do and that we do collectively. And I echo what Clarice has said as we sound out for the year. If you're a mom on a mission like we are and you have a story to share, please reach out to Ask Mom and let us know your story so that we can consider you for one of our next episodes of Tuesday Talks with Mom. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we love you. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.